Hey everybody, this is Michelle Virtue, and I wanted to show you how truly easy it is to handle your morning skincare routine with just Norwex and Crunchi. So the very first thing that I do in the morning in my shower, you can see I've got my towel on my head because, or actually this is the hair wrap, the Norwex hair wrap, which I love. The very first thing that I do is in the shower in the morning, I wash my face using just the Norwex body cloth and water. So it's super gentle, but it does a really great job of exfoliating the dead skin cells off of my face. The next portion of my personal skincare routine is to use the Crunchi Clary Light. This is a facial essence, not to be confused with a toner. So standard toners typically are an alcohol base, right? And they're chock full of all kinds of ingredients that I don't know how to pronounce, to be quite honest. But if I can't pronounce something or I don't recognize it, then it has made me a little nervous to put it on my skin. And a lot of times I would experience flaking or excessive drying after using toners for any length of time. This has birch, willow, and fruit sources for natural alpha hydroxy acids to help with exfoliation in a gentle way. So I want to show you this. See how it comes out? It's almost, it moves almost like a serum. So I just smooth that on my face. And then what I like to do, and you always want to go in upward movements, what I like to do is use a facial pad, a Norwex facial pad, to just kind of move it around and get it completely into all the pores of my face. This is gentle enough that I do use it around my eyes. Not on, but around. Now sometimes, but usually only at night, sometimes I will see a little residue, a dirt residue that it has taken off on the facial pad. But because it's morning time and I washed my face last night, I don't typically see that in the morning. Anyway, that feels wonderful on my skin. It doesn't dry it out, but it does help to minimize pores or the appearance of pores. The alpha hydroxy acids, the natural fruit acids, do help to minimize the appearance of some of those fine lines and sort of renew and rejuvenate your skin. So that is the Crunchi Clary Light Facial Essence. The next thing that I put on my face is the Crunchi Daylight Day Cream. This is a very, very light facial cream. And a little goes a long way. I usually don't even use a full squirt. Okay, so just a little tiny pump. That's about half a pump right there. I just smooth it between my fingers. I have oily skin, so I don't like to, even though this is not an oil base, I don't like to add a lot of moisturizer to my face. I want to make sure that my face, that my skin and my pores get the message that, hey, you're not over dry and you don't need to produce excess oil. But I know the importance of hydrating, so I want to make sure that I use a moisturizer both day and night every day, because that is what will keep the elasticity of your skin and keep it younger looking for longer. Now, I've been talking in between products, but when you're at home, you're probably not talking in between products and explaining them. So I do recommend waiting just a couple of minutes until you feel your face not be quite tacky any longer. And that means that it has absorbed all the way in and it's ready to receive the next product. The next product for me in the morning is the Crunchi Smart Primer. Now this, I do use a full pump. I have very large pores and I do have, as I'm aging, I do have some of those fine lines around my eyes and my facial expression lines here. And then I have forehead, both happy creases and frowny creases. So I like to use a full pump of the primer, which isn't a ton. just that much. But I do like to use a full pump to make sure that I get a good base for my foundation. You'll notice I almost always try to brush upward, go upward and outward. This makes sure that you're not just moving product around your face, but that it's actually absorbing into the pores of your skin. Now, I don't know if you can tell. I have very, very sensitive skin. Even just the gentle rubbing involved in washing my face or putting product on. I can go on my neck if I have a little excess on my fingers. Even just the gentle process of rubbing my skin to put product on reddens it a little bit. You know, in Victorian era, sometimes the women that weren't that didn't have rouge available to them or didn't have the money for rouge, they would just pinch their cheeks a little bit and rub their cheeks. I'm definitely one that can benefit from that. You can see it makes me look flush just to pinch my cheeks a little tiny bit. I'm a person who has very, very sensitive skin. And so for me, ingredients are important. And I love that I can trust the ingredients in Crunchie to not have unnecessary chemicals that are going to soak into my skin and go into my bloodstream. Did you know that it takes just 26 seconds for the products that you put on your skin, whether it's facial products or body care products, soaps, lotions, anything really, it takes just 26 seconds for those chemicals to be found in every organ of your body. So you can imagine, in order for your organs to be running smoothly and not have any trips along the way, not have any hiccups, it's really important to put things on your skin and in your body that your body can easily process and break down naturally. All right, so I've given that a couple of minutes. The next thing that I personally apply, now some of you are lucky you don't need to, but I do, is the concealer. Now I use my finger. I have not transitioned to a brush yet. I'm working on that. So I like to put concealer around my eyes. I don't do a ton of sleeping, so I don't frequently look very well rested on my own. It's hard to use your camera as a mirror. I also like to go right down that deep line with my concealer. Already you can see a difference between the side that I've concealed and not. I do have a little red spot there. Not a blemish yet, but feels like it might be trying to turn into one. I get hormonal blemishes. Rather irritating, but I don't suppose there's much that I can do about it. I'm looking in the other mirror because I'm having a hard time using my phone as a mirror. So I'm just looking in the actual mirror. All right, so I've got half my face done with concealer, and you can see there's a huge difference. So I'm just going to do the other side. It doesn't take a ton of product. You notice I'm using my ring finger so that it's nice and gentle around my eyes. I try not to tug too much. Instead, I try to pat it in and allow it to sort of melt and move around. And remember, I've got that primer on, so I don't want to be tugging too much anyway, because I don't want to tug the primer around and take that off my skin. I don't like to have a white line there. Personally, I think that a white concealer line is just as bad as dark circles. So I like to blend it down and out a little bit. And then I go right down that deep line along the edge of my nose. I have no idea how good a job I'm doing because I really can't see. Let me look in the mirror. Not bad. Do a little touch with the extra from my finger on top of my eyebrow, just to get a little highlight there. I use the concealer sort of as a highlighter also. You don't have to do that. I got a little blemish there, little blemish there. My skin is not perfect by any means, and I don't pretend that it is. All right, so I have a fresh, clean face. It has been primed and concealed, and now it's ready to accept my foundation. So I use the Crunchy Beautifully Flawless foundation. A little goes a long way. Be very careful with this. It is better to use a little too little initially than too much. Just remember that. You can always build it up, but you can't take it off unless you take it all off. So I don't know why. I guess I just naturally use my ring finger because that's what I was taught to do as a teenager. But so again, I do like, that's half a pump, okay? It might not look like very much, but it is a pretty good amount. So I like to just tap it on my face. I'm not as good with the left side, obviously, as I am the right, showing that I'm right-handed. A little on my nose, across my forehead. Now I probably have too much on my cheeks, so I'll transfer a little of that to my forehead. Some to my... There is a method behind tapping it on first. That way you don't have a big deposit anywhere. You know, you've just dotted it on. Then I take my number one crunchy brush. This is a big, it's not flat, it is round. I mean, it's flat on top, but it is a round brush. And then I just blend it from the center of my face outward. This makes it so that you don't have any harsh lines near your hairline. Or near your jawline. Okay, nobody wants to have that. Starting to lose my hair turban. As my hair dries, it doesn't hold my hair anymore. But that's okay, because a lot of times I know that my hair is drying because my hair turban starts falling off. Okay. Trying to get a good look in the mirror here. That's pretty good. So half a pump does very full coverage, okay? And it really doesn't pick up a lot on the brush, okay? That's still very clean. In fact, as a comparison, I'll show you. I'm not going to tell you what kind of brush this is, but this is my old brush that I used to use. This is my crunchy brush. Both of them started out with white bristles at the tip. So you can see this brush holds a lot more product after just, I washed this the day that I got this new. And so it was bright white. And I wanted to compare the two. This is a natural bristle brush. This is a synthetic bristle, vegan approved brush. And that is the difference between natural bristles and synthetic bristles. The natural bristles are going to grab and hold and absorb product just like your hair grabs and absorbs conditioner, right? It's going to grab and hold makeup. The synthetic bristles do not do that. They do not hold the product the way that the natural ones do. So at this point, I have my base and I can use whatever color products I want, whether that's eye color, cheek color. I always do my brows because I'm a blonde. My brows, even though they're there, I promise they're there, they are non-existent looking if I don't have a brow product on. And then, of course, mascara. Sometimes I don't use eye color, sometimes I do. It's all up to you. Some people use a bronzer instead of a cheek color, and that's fine too. And then, of course, you always want to finish off with a lip color, or at the very least a gloss, just to finish off your look for the day. So I hope that this has given you a little bit of helpful information, and enjoy your day.